before that, said you should give it a try, try being a scout leader. And I remember my first memory was walking up to the registration table, seeing that lady over there in the blue shirt, and I reached out to introduce myself, and she said, "Hi, I'm Bubbles." So I really started to wonder what I'd gotten myself into. But anyway, to make a long story short, I'm still on group committee. I've been with the first Meadowvale group since 1990. When my son, who they'd never stay young long enough, he grew up and ended up as the cub leader. I was cub leader with First Meadowvale West Mohawk Pack for a number of years. He took over as a Kayla of the Cub Pack. He got married and moved out to the north end of Toronto. And now my oldest daughter is now also a Kayla of the Cub Pack. And my youngest daughter got involved this year as a leader with the troop. So it does happen, and sometimes that draw in scouting is just enough to bring you back just when you think you got away. Anyway, our next guest, Bob Delaney, as of a couple of weeks ago, is now in his 4th term as a member of provincial parliament for the riding of Mississauga-Streetsville. He served as the parliamentary assistant to the Minister of Energy, and he was the chief government whip. And I had to look that up because I wasn't entirely sure what that was. And as it turns out, it's pretty much what it says. His job is to ensure that the MPPs are where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be, and doing what they're supposed to be doing. His many personal accomplishments in Western Mississauga include getting the new Lisgar GO station built, securing funding and building approval for the expansion of the Credit Valley Hospital. The construction of Phase 2 was completed ahead of schedule and within budget, and that seems to be an accomplishment nowadays. Phase 3 has been approved and is currently in the tendering process. Bob has been a Mississauga resident since the 1980s. He's been a hockey goaltender all his life. How Canadian can you get? And he lives in the Churchill Meadows neighborhood of Mississauga. I introduce you our newly re-elected MPP, Mr. Bob Delaney.
Well, thank you very much. You got all of that right. And it's all up to date. Well done. I think that brings you to the first and most important part about scouting, which is the motto, be prepared. You were prepared. You're going to notice, and that is that everybody here, all of your civic, provincial, and federal leaders have a direct personal relationship to scouting. So this tells you one of the most important things you need to know about scouting. Scouts rule. Sooner or later, whoever runs the city, whoever runs the province, whoever runs the country has a direct line connection to scouting. This is a good thing. This is always a good thing. Here's some of the reasons why this is a good thing. People don't automatically turn themselves out neat and take care of themselves. They learn that in places like scouting. People don't automatically know how to survive in the outdoors, how to figure out which way is north when they go into a strange city. They learn that in scouting. They learn so many things in scouting that when you're in the middle of it, you think to yourself, what good will this ever do? Until one day that you've been doing it and you realize, oh, I learned that in scouting. Scouting simply makes you a better person, period. And it's because of that that I'd like to honor the first Meadowvale West Scout Group with your recognition from the province of Ontario. And it reads, in part, because I'm not going to read the whole thing, we join with the community in wishing the leaders, youth, and volunteers who make scouting such an important part of the lives of the youth touched by the first Meadowvale West Troop. Ontario celebrates the leadership and the fine example scouting and its dedicated leaders set in Meadowvale. And I was also a Boy Scout. I grew up in a place not unlike Mississauga, in fact very much like Mississauga, in the West Island of Montreal, and I became a scout as soon as I was eligible to, and became a patrol leader, and just like everybody else here, I've got a direct connection to scouting. So scouts, this is one of the most important things you're going to do in your whole life. And all of the things that you're going to learn here are going to be things that you're going to remember. And a lot of your parents realize that you don't truly learn something until you have to teach it, which is why a lot of the parents have come back and been scout leaders. And in years to come, a lot of you may choose to come back with your own kids and realize that now it's time for me to finish learning all the stuff I started to learn back when I was a scout and to teach the next generation of scouts. That's one of the things that makes us so uniquely Canadian. That's one of the ways that we come together to help ourselves, and that's why scouting is one of the best ideas ever thought up. Thank you, Lord Baden-Powell. I think Hazel probably knew him at one point in life. But in fact, it may have even been before she was mayor. But, you know, thank you to Lord Baden-Powell and to all the parents and to all of those who helped make scouting such an important part of our society today. Thanks very much. Great. Perfect. Thank you very much.